is Kate Larkin.
Hi there.
And this is Mike Volpe.
Hi.
And we've just been talking about what Joost is up to. And I guess we were moving on from talking about how people watch content. We can talk more about where they'll be watching content. Where do you see that going?
Well, where people watch content is really dependent on their lifestyle and demographic. So far, we only have the PC and the Macintosh as the platforms that people watch content on. And on those kinds of platforms, you see younger people, sort of teens, college kids, early 20s, somewhat late 20s too. They seem pretty comfortable watching their content on a PC or a Macintosh. They're used to already popping in their DVDs and watching it, or they're used to watching YouTube, so it's like a really common experience for them, and they're totally comfortable with that.
Just in the course of their day.
Right, exactly. And they're also kind of an early adopter demo, and so it's a wonderful demo for us because they're experimenting with our new platform and so forth. Over the long term, I think we kind of expect that we have to have other platforms that attach the television set, because we are delivering a high quality viewing experience. And also, when you want to reach out to 35, 40, 45, 50-year-old kind of demographic, you really have to have the television as a viewing platform. So our entire design is oriented around that. But those folks are not as early adopters. They're not as prone to trying out new things and changing their ways of doing things. And so that's not where we're starting.
Do you think they'll start using Joost now, or they'll wait until it might be available on somewhere they feel more comfortable?
I think more of the computer savvy kind of folks will, but I wouldn't expect the mainstream to go with Joost. I would expect that the mainstream would probably get to Joost when they see the platform on the television set.
Yeah, and that might be how soon?
As soon as we can get it to work right, and we have some good partners, because we won't do the hardware, we'll rely on partners, but within the next 18 months. Okay.
Well, we have a lot of content creators on our site who are maybe not the kind of professional people you're doing deals with, but they're starting to make good stuff. So how do you see that kind of content integrating its way onto your platform? I understand that you don't want to be completely open necessarily because you want to be particularly friendly to your partners. But.
Yeah. Well, as long as the content is professionally created and the material contained in the content is appropriately licensed and owned by the people who are producing the video, we're absolutely on board for having it. And we think we're actually quite a nice platform. So we've been approached by people who make big ticket pictures, large, well-known television shows, and say, well, I have this idea for a show that would be a variable length show, maybe 40 minutes, it might be 20 minutes, and I want to put it up on a site. But YouTube's not quite where I want to go. I want to do something that's a little more professional and so forth.
Sure, maybe a little conducive to long form content.
Exactly. So we absolutely welcome those folks. So we think we're actually a great platform for that type of thing.
So how should they find you, and how do they get onto your platform?
Content@joost.com. It's probably the best place to find us.
Okay.
We obviously, being a startup, we're a little bit underwater with all the requests and demands that we have, but we are absolutely accepting content, especially if they can give it to us in a reasonable format. We can ingest it and put it up within a matter of days. And I think we're quite a nice viewing platform for that. We can also sell advertisements against that type of content, so you sort of have an instant sales force to put ads against content.
And you'll give those people the same kind of deals that you're giving your big partners?
Well, hopefully we'll get slightly better deals for people that don't have sort of the brand name like a CBS and so forth. But very fair deals, and most of them are going to be very standardized. So you go to the web, click a couple of agreements, yes, and we'll sell ads against it. And that's it.
So it'll be even more open, where it's maybe a little more automated than it is today.
Yeah, we'll have automated features probably within the next 6 months.
Okay. What about being completely open, just being a player for anything you want to watch? Do you see that happening at all?
There's pretty good players out in the market today, and I don't know that necessarily we'll do something dramatically different by having another player like us.
Okay.
But I do think that things like RSS feeds, for example, is something we should absolutely play on our platform, and we will. So we'll have that type of...
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make all that much sense to have to leave Joost because you want to go watch something else, right?
Sure. Yeah. As long as, keep in mind that Joost is designed for a full screen experience, and so putting content on there like, a grainy 300 kilobit whatever, which, if you expand the screen size, it actually looks worse.
Yeah.
We don't know that that's necessarily the right way to do.
Which is most of what you see on the internet.
But there's a lot of good RSS feeds out there that have quality content that we're more than welcome to put on the platform. And we don't want to take content that necessarily the content owner doesn't want to put on our platform. But if, like in the case of RSS, where you have the BBC or NPR that has great content and they want to portray it on a player, well, absolutely, we'll take it in and play it.
Sounds good.